ST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. It is baseball season. Orioles off to a decent start. I know Cal Ripken likes that from the billboards at Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute. Each and every week, we get together with the doctors at Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute in Owings Mills and Foundry Road to talk about ways that maybe you can get their help or you can be a little more educated. Certainly for me, Dr. Craig Bennett fixed my left arm so much so that I don't even have my Stan the Man Stasiak arm brace thing here. Has also helped my wife with some orthopedic needs and getting ready for running. And I tell you what, Doc, the spring thing is real. I mean, people are outside, they're moving around, and I'm moving around a little bit. And the reality is, as you move around a little bit, you might get injured. So some words to the wise for some of the parents of the lacrosse and baseball fans out there, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The weather's hopefully turning the corner, going to be nice, and like you said, people get outside. And if you're starting an exercise program, whether or not you be old or young, and you've been primarily sedentary during this winter, it's a matter of the obvious gradual increase in activities. There's a tendency to say, okay, the weather's nice, I want to shed these winter pounds and get out there and go as hard as I want, and you can't do that. You want to stretch beforehand, stretch afterwards. If you know you have a history of a joint issue, take an anti-inflammatory before you start your exercise program, and a little bit of prevention to hopefully prevent some increased injuries.
Dr. Craig Bennett is here from Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute, getting ready for the spring season. The last time we got together, we talked very briefly about stem cell injections because we're talking about my elbow, we're talking about my wife's shoulder. She has a frozen shoulder issue. We both have literally seen you in the last 90 days looking for comfort. I mean, it's certainly getting me to the doctor. I have to be in pain. A little discomfort probably doesn't get me there. You fixed me up without any injections, but you gave me the full scope of, hey, if it goes in this direction, this might happen. I want to learn more about stem cell injections, so let's do that right now because I know that's where you are, and this is something that 20, 30 years ago, nobody had ever heard of this, right?
Right. Okay, so let's break it into broader categories. So with injections into sore joints, whether that be your elbow, your wife's shoulder, or a knee, we've got a couple different categories of things. We have cortisone. Cortisone's been around for a long time. Cortisone's a drug. It decreases inflammation, decreases swelling, can help with pain, but by no means is helpful for that joint tissue. It's a pain reliever, but it's not going to improve the quality of the tissue, and if given too frequently, the cortisone can actually speed up some breakdown of tissue. Then there's biologic injections. And so biologic injections would fall into two broad categories. One being a platelet-rich plasma type injection, and the other what we've described as a stem cell type injection. So the platelets are the part of your blood system that are the helpers, the clumpers, the healers. So your blood cells, you've got white cells, red cells, and platelets. Well, concentrating the platelets from someone's blood and injecting those platelets back into areas of joints or tendons or muscles that are irritated or injured can help with pain, may help with some healing, and can decrease inflammation to some extent.
Well, I'm familiar with cortisone, by the way, because I had a cortisone shot in my knee, and it did exactly what you said. It's about 14 years ago now. It made it feel better for a little while, and then eventually I had chondromalacia and had to go in and have it cleaned up. And the PRP and the stem cell, you've talked about those options privately with my wife and I as far as these are options that would make it better. The difference, I'm still trying to understand. So PRP would be platelets that come from your own personal platelets that you re-inject back in. What is stem cell again?
So stem cells, it's a true stem cell is a very immature, early basic cell. And it may not be the right term to be using, but that's what we call them when we're talking about these injections. And so you take cells from somewhere in someone's bone marrow, or you can take a cell from their fat, or you can take a cell, an immature cell from someone else's tissue, from the placenta or from the umbilical cord from a lady who's donated her placenta or donated her umbilical cord. So you have your own stem cells, and that's either taken from your bone marrow or from your fat cells or someone else's stem cells. So the question that we've got right now in orthopedics, one of the questions, what's better, taking stem cells from someone who's in their 30s, 40s, 50s, their own cells, and concentrating those and putting those back into an injured area, or taking a one-day-old stem cell from somebody else, from a immature cell from the umbilical cord, and putting that into someone's damaged tissue.
Wow, when did this technology really, has this been full circle all of your medical career, Doc, or is this something that has really come on in, let's say, this century?
This is year 21 for me, and this is absolutely something that came on this century, and even more so in terms of, for example, the fat cell injections. Those have only been approved in the United States for the past 5 years or so. In terms of giving stem cells from someone's bone marrow, again, it's been about 5 or 6 years that most of us who do this kind of work have been using this. These techniques have been around for a while. When you talk about PRP, the famous case is a Hines Ward case from prior to the Super Bowl with the Steelers, probably about 10 years ago. And but in terms of use of PRP, they've been using PRP in veterinary medicine for many decades.
Wow.
So the stuff's been around, but in terms of gaining popularity, it's definitely been over the past decade.
I always learn something when I get together with you. Sometimes our visits are a little longer or shorter, and I know it's the time is short here in springtime. You got a lot of patients to see. We really appreciate all you all do for us up at Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute at Foundry Row in Owings Mills. If you don't know Dr. Craig Bennett or Dr. Kevin Crutchfield, stop by, see them. They are a game changer for local athletes and weekend warriors like myself. They got that state-of-the-art facility there in Owings Mills. Doc, we will check in with you in 2 weeks, and we'll get up with Crutch next week and talk about head injuries. I apologize I did not get either of you to Coach Billick this week, but I'll make a turn back in the summer, all right?
All right, well, great.
You got it. Dr. Craig Bennett joining us here from Lifebridge Health Sports Medicine Institute. So nice that I wore the shirt. The buy at Toyota.com Audio Vault is there for all football, Liars Luncheon, opening day, Final Four. I'm talking about all sorts of things out there. Go to WNST.net. It's there 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. The kids call it podcasting. We call it the buy at Toyota.com Audio Vault. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.